All right, cool. All right, we're back. Morse Code Podcast, episode 95. Soapy, good evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
For the 95th time.
Seriously. God
and perhaps
almighty.
final.
I sure hope so. So does our audience. But we'll see. I didn't bother to look up any 95 players. None really stand out to me. You? Probably some D linemen. Again,
Yeah,
Leahy will be all over us. I don't know. Probably some like Arizona Cardinals defensive linemen that we forgot about.
Maybe like a random pitcher. I can almost picture someone in the 90s.
I don't know. Baseball is tough. Baseball has pretty widespread numbers just to do so many players.
Oh, I meant a random pitcher of beer.
No, those usually aren't numbered.
Mm.
Like the employee,
must be
the
thinking of
store
something
might
else.
number them just to, like for inventory reasons. But that's a great idea. So let's start here. So Sophie and I talked earlier. Today's going to be one of those nights where I really don't want to get to any sports stuff because I was thinking earlier. I thought of a couple things earlier. I don't want to talk about the Celtics at all because I'll just get frustrated. Boy, they suck.
Terrible team
lately. God, they fucking stink. Again, that's it. Let's leave it there.
They suck and they blow. In the words of Maz.
I don't know if they blow more than they suck. They're two completely polar opposite actions.
They are. I'm trying to think which.
I think they blow. Good point.
I think
they blow.
I think they suck most times, but Sunday matinee games, they definitely blow.
I thought they blew last night, that Cavs game.
Yeah, big blow.
They blow. Yeah. So move on. Ironically, your favorite fish, the blowfish, and your favorite 90s band, Hootie and the Blowfish.
Yeah.
Shout out Darius Rucker.
Coming up later in the show as well. So weird foreshadowing.
Yep. And next week, we have both Darius Rucker and Chris Tucker on the show. And a real blowfish. My God.
Yeah, I don't know how the Zoom's going to work, but
no.
I'll up my subscription for that.
Let's move on. If you want our latest thoughts on the Celtics, I think it's a consensus they blow.
Google a picture of like diarrhea.
Yeah. Tub girl.
Yeah.
Tub team. I think it's going to be comical what they do at the deadline. I hope. At this point, I just hope it's something comical, as in like nothing. Or like a huge, like the Boston Celtics. Here's how I would love it, because they're not going to win shit this year. It doesn't matter who they sign. The best would be like the Boston Celtics official Twitter account tweeting out like the eye emojis, like the day of the trade deadline, right?
Yeah.
And then players doing the same thing. And then like breaking news, Boston Celtics send a second round pick and so to, I don't know, New Orleans for like JJ Redick or something, like just or whoever's like a more underwhelming trade target than JJ.
They sent him there for potential cash considerations. Or you see Bradley Beal tweet like the leprechaun emoji.
Yeah.
And then we come to find out he was just celebrating like St. Patrick's Day.
Yep. Bradley Beal texts out a pic of him and Jason Tatum as kids, like growing up. And then like, you're right. The Celtics tweet drops about them getting cash considerations. And then Bradley Beal subtweeting himself like, damn, miss the old days with my homies.
Or it's Tatum getting traded to the Wizards.
Fair.
For nothing.
I'd be happy for him.
Which may be fair. I don't know.
Yeah. Good for him. It made me think. I saw another one I tweeted out the other day. It was like, who is it? Oh, Galladay. It was like Kenny Galladay is in deep talks with the Cincinnati Bengals, planning a visit later this week. It's like, fucking good for him. Like, I'm miserable in Detroit. Please get me to Cincinnati, Ohio.
Yeah.
A real winning franchise. It's like, get out of here, dude. I honestly think the two top candidates were Cincinnati and the Giants.
Yep.
Okay. That says to me you don't care about winning. And like, I'm looking for a bag from
there's a third horse in the race. Did you see that?
No, let me guess. Similar storied franchise, I assume.
Yeah.
I'm going to go, Jacksonville. Jets.
Nope.
Lions again for more money? No, what do you got?
The fucking Bears.
Great
to be teamed with Andy Dalton.
Mm.
Dude, it's pretty funny the way that they're wording the tweets too. Like last
Yep.
night, it said he spent the night with Ryan Pace, I think.
Oh, the GM?
I think
That's
so.
weird.
It's
Ooh.
like, why don't you just say he's visiting? What do you mean spend the night? Like,
Yeah.
and if you're
Steamy
gonna say that,
details.
let's
Mm. He
don't
slept
just
with
leave it
Ryan
there.
Pace. Yeah. I feel like that's happened before in the NBA, like spending the night. Wasn't that a big story with like some of the Clippers drama
Yeah.
or even Boston or something?
Well, like it's pretty funny that free agent visits still happen because
Yeah, I agree.
one of the reporters who tweeted that today was like, yes, by the way, these still are a thing once in a great while. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, free agents used to actually go visit and
Spend the night. It's getting
be
late.
pursued and whatever.
Yeah. It's getting late at night. Maybe you had a few cocktails talking business. You shouldn't be driving, Kenny. Please crash at my place.
No,
Some would argue-
park your jet in the back.
Yeah.
I know you flew it here yourself.
Mm-hmm. I wonder what kind of money GMs make.
Oh,
More than
easily
a
5
coach?
figures.
You think more
Easily.
than a coach?
Um,
Like in the
No.
NBA?
I don't think
Yeah.
so.
Okay. Like, do you think I picture Danny Ainge making more money than Brad Stevens, though, unless that's just one scenario.
I think until recently that was probably
good
true.
point. He just got very good point. Prior to his extension. Yeah.
But up until that, I bet that was
but
true.
Anyway, yeah, I can see that. But anyway, like going against what most of our audience tells us, we're not going to stick to sports tonight. We're going to unstick ourselves from sports. So as far as the Patriots go, I mean, I'm satisfied with how this week's went. I'll leave it at that.
Me
For
too.
the most part. I'll leave it at this. Like I honestly, even if Cam is the quarterback next year, like I think the Patriots are back.
Yeah.
Like sucks bad enough, but he can get away with sucking like that with some of the stuff they've done. I'm just excited that they're acknowledging that this roster blows and we need to vastly improve it.
Yeah.
Crazy concept, I know, if you're listening in Boston and you're a general manager of a team, but I'm okay with it.
Agreed. I think we're on the same page.
Let's move on. Where do you want to start? This week in racism? This could easily become a weekly segment. But
let's go there because that is like now the oldest story, even though it's only about a week old.
Yeah, unfortunately it is. We wanted to touch on this last week. I was going to say earlier, that's the other reason I don't want to talk about like breaking news, because it always comes back to bite us in the ass. Like I said, like we talked a week ago with Volin about Patriots quarterback situation, and then they signed Cam. And then we got all excited about what the Patriots did last Monday or Tuesday. And then they did the Hunter Henry deal the next morning.
Yep.
Which was still bizarre. Like, I'm sure you agree. That was what I looked at that Schefter tweet like 10 times.
Yeah.
Zoomed in on the check mark and was like, this can't be real.
Yeah. Is there an extra letter in here? Is this Adam R. Schefter?
Yeah. It's so weird.
Adam Scheften.
I'll take it. Anyway, so yeah, and then obviously our predictions are never good. That's why I'm not even going to mention March Madness tonight. It's not because I'll bust my own bracket by talking about it tonight.
Oh yeah,
those never come to fruition. But yeah, so last week, so I'm trying to think, where do we start? There was Myers.
We did Papa John's.
We hit Papa.
So everyone's caught up there. He said the N-word, and now he's still in a 20-month recovery to stop saying it.
He's almost at 21 months. That was a few weeks ago. Myers Leonard, and then the college announcer. What was that guy's name? I have it right here. I actually pulled up the quote. I don't know if I want to read the quote, but it is.
I don't think you can. Let's treat this like a rap song.
No, not the quote. I meant the apology. Not what he actually said. The apology is fantastic. Let's start with Myers Leonard. I'm going to admit I'm not a Jewish man. Neither are you. That I know of. Excuse me.
I wasn't.
Yeah, but I certainly know that slang term.
I'm familiar.
I've used it, especially publicly.
I've heard it.
I don't know. Why don't you catch us up to speed with what happened with Myers Leonard?
So Myers Leonard,
the popular gaming platform Twitch.
Yeah, Myers Leonard likes to get on the sticks every once in a while and broadcast himself doing it. A very popular thing. If you're not familiar, people play video games, and a lot of people who aren't already famous do it and make money because you have to subscribe to watch them play and also pretty much like commentate what they're doing. So for some reason, Myers Leonard also does that on the side, and he got pretty heated in like a Call of Duty or something like that. And I'm going to stop just short of what he said, but the way that he said it, like he got pissed at, I think he was basically calling someone like a coward because they were hiding. Something like that, right? And then he was like, "You fucking bitch, you!" And then he dropped he
cocked back on that one. That was a full wind up.
that was the craziest part. I'm not laughing at the to clarify, we're not laughing at the slur itself, but like
obviously
him pausing and like throwing everything that he had behind that was a strong
that is exclamation. That part of it is comical. Like how deep in his bag he went to pull that one out.
He wanted that one to hurt. That wasn't a subtle whatever.
No. That wasn't a jab. That was a haymaker. Yeah. That was like, I got Apollo Creed on the ropes. I'm fucking putting this guy on the ground. And what's interesting about that slang term, again, it was I guess called the K word, for a derogatory anti-Semitic term towards Jewish people. It's not like plus you're playing a video game online, so you don't know who you're playing against, right? So it's not like, hey, I'm aiming at this guy. That's just one that he just has in his arsenal. When he gets frustrated, that's one of my choices I can go with. Yeah. And he went with it.
I think he was looking for, this isn't me defending him at all.
Sure. Okay.
But if I was trying to play out the situation, I bet he doesn't say that often, but I think he saves it for when he's like, when I need to really cut someone, I'm using this and 2 or 3 other ones.
I kind of disagree. I think that's
really
probably a heavy one in his rotation, because the way he did it, he paused. He was like, you fucking, gave it a second or two. And it's like, I'll just go with the norm. Bang. Then hit it.
See, I thought he was cycling and he got to the end of his Rolodex and was like, yeah, I haven't busted this out in a while.
I almost picture it like in Super Mario 3, if you remember, at that bonus stage where you have to get the spinning shapes and you match the top, middle, and bottom to form a mushroom. I just picture that going on in his head. He's like, N word, this word, that one.
He's got to match him. Ding, ding, ding.
And he hit it. And I only wish the video went longer too, because I think he realized what he did, but it wasn't that obvious. He did quickly go back to more traditional gamer talk, I guess, but it would have been better.
Yeah, the N word.
Right. It'd be better if he said it and then you just heard him oh shit. This is live, isn't it? And that's the thing about being a celebrity, and not that he's a celebrity, but that's the thing about you're going on a public platform. If I'm an NBA player, if I'm any sort of notoriety, I would just assume everything I say is going to be archived.
Yeah.
And you imagine being the other kids in that chat room, this is going on Twitter right about now.
That was weird because they whoever was talking to him, I don't know how many people were in that room, but I think the first person to respond did laugh and then just keep the conversation going, because what are you going to do aside from fucking call him out for it?
Right.
If you're not going to do that, then I don't know what you do.
I don't really know much about Twitch, honestly, in the gaming community. There was another kid in the video, right? Was that his, you play with a friend and then you just play, obviously there's random kids online you're playing against, or people, I shouldn't say kids.
Yeah. So you and I could stream together, cross streams.
Interesting. Some would say he crossed his stream into a unwelcome path, but that's almost like one of those things, almost like I was talking about the Schefter tweet. You're playing, you hear that. And because if that was anyone else but Myers Leonard, unfortunately, no one would care. And again, the fact that we care about Myers Leonard shows you how little you would care if it was someone who wasn't Myers Leonard, because he's a nobody for the most part. But yeah, and again, obviously, it's not like he had a great resume going into it.
The owner of his basketball team is Jewish.
Sure.
Sorry, the owner of the team that used to employ him was Jewish.
Yeah, good point. And then there was some of the stuff about the anthem and whatnot, but that wasn't a great look. You know what? I'll say
that's why people really piled on him.
Yeah, I was gonna say he didn't have a great, track record going into that event. But what was I going to say? And that's where a lot of people kind of, I don't want to say, obviously there's people defending him, certain people defending him. But I had this thought too. If you go back to the summer with, when the BLM movement really started going and NBA players were kneeling, if you don't understand why players on your team would maybe be upset or hurt, or at least it's a story for why you're not kneeling with them if they're black and you're white, then you don't understand team sports, because team sports are one of the unique scenarios or opportunities or whatever, where it's like, that is a true brotherhood or sisterhood or whatever. It could be men or women.
Yep.
And I think, whether people want to believe this or not, the National Basketball Association is mostly African-American players. Like I said, that's a fact. If you want to believe that or not, whatever.
I didn't know this, so I'm glad you're bringing it to my attention.
Whether you like it or not, that's the business you're in. And again, yes, people are going to go online and say you have the right to do whatever you want, blah, blah, blah. You do, but you have to understand you're probably letting people down who are counting on you by doing that. And that's why it's a news story. You know what I mean? And it's not, I guess it's a black and white thing, but it doesn't have to be, because Jonathan Isaac's the other example. I'd say karma's a bitch one way or the other for both of those guys, but it kind of just is what it is. So, I mean, like I said, that didn't bode well going into this little rant he had, if you want to call it that, on Twitch. But I don't know. I wouldn't bet that this was a one-time thing, no matter what his iPhone notes apology had said. I forget that apology. It was pretty, I don't know. I think the apologies honestly make it worse. Like those forced social media iPhone note apologies. They're never they never make it seem, they never do what they're supposed to do.
Yeah, you might as well.
I genuinely forgive you. No. And that might lead us into our next scenario we came into over the last week.
Wait, did you want to describe the meme? Not meme, the picture that they decided to use in the apology.
I don't remember.
What the Myers Leonard picture of him like fully decked out in his fucking gaming gear with like the headphones on.
Oh, yes. And the Bret Hart glasses. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we'll use that.
The only good thing that came from that bullshit. Yeah, the only good thing that came from that was Tyler putting those glasses on Tom Brenneman and making it one of the best pictures I've ever seen in my life. And dude, we'll hit that for a second. If you haven't seen that clip, I'll be honest, I kind of slept on it this summer. I didn't think it was that funny until I really went back and listened to it again. That Tom Brenneman one is so good. So good. Cincinnati Reds announcer over the summer. And again, we're all over the map here with these slurs. We're hitting African Americans. We're hitting Jewish people. We're hitting homosexuals. Like they're getting killed.
Anyone can get it these days.
Anyone can catch this smoke from Tom Brenneman in a booth. Hot mics are red hot in 2020. So in a nutshell, Tom Brenneman, baseball announcer for the Reds, was caught on a hot mic, whatever the fuck that means. And here's the other thing. Like, these guys say these things either way. The ones that go public are the ones that just happen to be caught. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's why these apologies are bullshit. You're not apologizing for what you said. You're apologizing that you got caught, and now I have to address it. Anyway, that's another story.
Can you describe the Leonard picture after this?
Sure. I might have you do it. You seem to be a little more familiar.
Okay.
With it. But the Tom Brenneman one, I don't know. I guess him and his colleague were talking off air. They thought they were off air about some city.
Yeah, commercial break.
Right. It was whoever they were playing against, I assume. Some city. I'm not even going to bother to name what it was. And Tom Brenneman was caught calling it, I'm not going to repeat it, was caught calling it again, this is, I'll let you take this how you will, fill in the blanks here. It was a homosexual slur, and it started with an F, and it was that word, capital of the world, pretty much, right?
Yep.
Okay. Everyone heard it. And then the best part is, dude, I think is like the next scene, like when they come back from commercial, is cut to Tom. Well, I don't know when I'll be putting on this headset again.
You know, he's sweating his dick off too that whole time.
Oh my God, dude. He goes into his whole apology, and the best, like God was watching from above and just made this happen. Nick Castellanos hits cranks a homer, dude, out of the park. No fans, so it's silent. And like a true pro, right in the middle of his apology, and Castellanos drives one to deep right. That's out of here. Anyway, where was I? Deeply sorry for my remarks. So good. And then I don't want to like go into it because I know we have a lot of mutual followers who are on Tyler's Patreon. He does it the best, but like just the backup guy getting that call to go in and fill in, and someone came in and called the rest of the game from home.
Yeah, because it was I think it was in the 5th inning when this happened.
It was early. Oh yeah.
So yeah, he was just like, and there's a deep drive to left that'll make it a 4-0 game. And I'm sorry, folks, if I may have offended.
Where was I? Would have made it better if it was like a walk-off. If they were fans and it was a walk-off. So like the stadium, because this fans have no idea, unless I guess they would because they're on their phones. But like a walk-off homer, the crowd is going nuts in the background. And Tom's just trying to like block his ears and do his apology on live TV.
Yeah, with fireworks going off behind him.
Oh man, like celebratory fireworks behind him while he's apologizing for offending so many people and probably just ruining his life and career. Anyway,
they also had to like, not only as a commentator was he heard, like they showed him on the screen, so he had to be on there for a good 10-15 seconds before the home run was hit. So yeah, imagine if he also had to call. I'm trying to think. Imagine if it wasn't like that was a no doubter. He knew that was out of the park, so he was like, and that's a deep drive to left.
Oh yeah.
But if that was like warning track power, but also like potentially for the game and a packed crowd, and he had to be like, he had to show the intensity.
Back.
Does this one have enough? It looks like the right fielder's camped under.
I don't believe what I just saw. Oh, so good, dude. But again, like I would love to know what was going on in his head. Like he hears the crack of the bat. He's like, shit, this is going to be a home run. Yeah. I can't not talk about it. Like, what do I do?
I was born to announce these things. I can't, I don't just turn that off.
I am still technically employed, and my job duties are to call play by play.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
You think at his next interview, when they ask him, like, picture him
about past job experience?
Yeah. Hey, Tom, give us a time where you had to deal with some adversity and you were still able to do your job really well. And Tom's like, well, you saw what I got fired for. Go back to that clip where I still called the home run mid apology.
You know what, guys? I bet he takes that quote to every interview he does.
Oh, yeah.
There's a time, guys, where I didn't know if I'd put the headset on again, but here I am.
You see me work?
Yeah, Tom, you know we can't hire you, right?
Yeah. You know that's the reason why you're at this job interview is because of what happened that day, correct?
Well, hey, what can I say? Brenneman drove one deep to center, and I gave it my all. Tom, it's time for you to leave. I don't know who organized this meeting, but go back and just Google that. And so, yeah, go. Why don't you talk about the Myers-Leonard pick a little bit? Because it certainly didn't help. I'll put it that way.
Yeah. So just really quick, Myers-Leonard by himself is already kind of a funny looking character. Like
he also blows, right?
Yeah, he's not.
Like, he sucks. No.
He's a 6'11", 7-foot white guy. So he's huge. He's built like one of the Plumleys. Like that's what I always think of.
He looks like an extra from Inglourious Bastards. Not for the good guys.
Yeah, that would make sense.
He wasn't on Brad Pitt's team.
Okay, spoiler. I haven't seen that movie, but so he's a tall, like kind of curly haired guy. In the picture, it's a black background, so everything else stands out. It's him in a white t-shirt. He's got the gaming goggles on as well as the headset. So I don't know why they had to take like almost like him mid-action picture, and we're like, maybe it will make people feel worse if they see him, what this may have looked like. It was very bizarre. It was just a cartoonish look to add next to, like, the text was in all white. So it's just a very weird PR move.
Per Myers-Leonard's demand.
Yes, the text. Yeah. Big time.
Wow. I never really thought about that. That is interesting why they sided. Like you could have gone with a, I don't know, professional business photo, maybe a picture of him in his basketball uniform. Nope. I want you to see I want a real POV for this apology.
Yeah, I'd like you to imagine what this may have looked like if you missed out.
But was that released by him?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think he had gaming sponsors, right? Had gaming sponsors.
It was released either by him or like, they clearly had his permission, whoever did
it.
Right. So, yeah, interesting.
Yeah, that was an interesting one. That was a good day on Twitter. Not a good day. That was a day on Twitter.
And then in our next installment,
like you alluded to earlier, he got traded for Trevor Ariza, that's obviously not a surprise. But I think I read it's like the Thunder didn't even pick him up.
No, right? He's no longer employed by an NBA team.
Good for him. Yeah, what was next? The college announcer, right?
Yeah, can we take a quick pause real quick?
Sure.
I'd like to for the viewers, I'd like to improve my internet connection. And I think I know what may be the issue.
Did you cut the cords again? In the meantime, I'm going to pull up exactly what I was looking for. Here it is. The press release from one Matt Rowan, who was in fact the college announcer from that game, who also had a racial incident where we'll explain, the cause of it, and you're not going to believe this, but I don't know. We'll leave it up to our audience to decide if the rationale for this statement was justified or not. So with that being said, we'll let Soapy continue fooling around with his wires. Take a minute for station identification, and we'll be right back with the Morse Code podcast.
All right, I'm going to pause real quick.
Okay. I kept our listeners engaged while you were gone.
Yeah, that sounded great. I heard from a distance.
Thank you.
There's one thing I finally taught you.
Yeah.
You still with me?
Yes, unfortunately, I am.
Oh, perfect.
Let's fast forward to this. So Matt Rowan, it was like a D2 college game or something, if that.
Oh, I thought it was high school.
Or whatever. Fine. Yeah, high school college game. It was a women's college game. And again, caught on a hot mic. This time speaking of kneeling, was referring to one of the teams. I assume it was the opposing team, not the team he works for. Was taking a knee. They're protesting. Seen it 100 times, is what it is. He didn't like it too much. Used the N-word, caught on microphone, camera, everything. Not great. I don't think it was a story, of course, but it took a real turn when his apology via press release was released, because that caused some additional dialogue I think we can all relate to. We've all been there, right?
Sure have.
I'm just gonna read through it for our audience. Hopefully this Matt Rowan character doesn't sue me. If he does, that's why we have a legal team. It was also saved as pressrelease.pdf. He didn't even try. Press release. I, Matt Rowan, on Thursday, March 11th, 2021, most regrettably made some statements that cannot be taken back. During the Norman High School girls basketball game against Midwest City, I made inappropriate and racist comments, believing that the microphone was off. I'll go back to that. However, let me state immediately that is no excuse such comments should have ever been uttered. Now, here's where, I start to really understand this guy. I'm a family man. I am married. I have 2 children. And at one time was a youth pastor. I continue to be a member of a Baptist church. I've not only embarrassed and disappointed myself, I've embarrassed and disappointed my family and my friends. He's a family man, and he goes to church. possibly
that should preclude him from all wrongdoing ever.
There's more.
Correct?
There's more. You're going to love this one. I don't know how someone can still see this guy at fault. I will state that I suffer type 1 diabetes. And during the game, my sugar was spiking. While not excusing my remarks, it's not unusual when my sugar spikes that I become disoriented and often say things that are not appropriate as well as hurtful. I do not believe that I would have made such horrible statements absent my sugar spiking. I think I'm done. That's enough. The rest doesn't matter.
I mean, that's why you and I are both enjoying a nice beverage tonight.
Oh, buddy.
Because you don't know what might happen on this show.
If I don't have any carbs in me before we get on the air, I don't know what I might say or who I might offend or what racial slur might fly out of my mouth.
I never talk about women unless I've had at least 3 meals in me.
So in conclusion, this guy sucks. Like, this guy is just the worst.
Yeah.
That is the worst apology I've ever seen. Because a couple of notes, I just realized this too. That opening statement, during the Norman High School girls basketball game against Midwest City, I made inappropriate and racist comments believing that the microphone was off. So he's apologizing basically for leaving his microphone on.
Yeah.
Like, I thought the microphone was off. Like,
Yeah.
I thought I was just saying these incredibly racist, hurtful things to my colleague.
It's the producer who should also be apologizing.
I'm going to throw this out there. I haven't seen an apology from him or her. Somebody dropped the ball behind the scenes. And
it certainly wasn't this guy.
No. This guy was just doing his job. You know, he missed his mid-afternoon banana, and he said some racist shit. Who hasn't been there before?
I feel bad
actually, I haven't personally. But
same. I feel bad that he's the fall guy. Like, man, this guy says it, and he's the one that has to take the fall on the sword for this.
Yeah, not great. I think I'll leave it at that. Not great for what this guy said in his excuse. Basically just blamed being a little hangry, blamed his racism on being hangry. That's not going to fly. I don't think.
That's a new one.
That's a new one. And I bet like racists all over the country are pissed. Like, what? I didn't think of that. Now they can't use it anymore because next time they do, they're just like, hey, you're copying old Rowan.
I bet diabetics around the country are pissed.
Oh, racist. Not a good week for racist diabetics who happen to call basketball games.
Yeah.
On a microphone. Not a good week. I'd like to move on if that's okay. This is starting to depress me. There's one more thing.
Sure.
That's weird. There's one more thing.
Is he in your driveway?
No, but my wife's car lights are going off for some reason. And she's upstairs. That's really weird. Anyway, why don't you introduce this? We had we want to do a draft. We haven't done a draft in a while. Introduce what we're drafting today. If you remind our audience, last time it was a city draft on a basketball team between Boston and Chicago. And what do we got today?
Yeah, today we're drafting different forms or the best forms in which hamburger, ground beef should be consumed.
Got you. So it's similar. We had a conversation about this like with chicken before, which was great and got a lot of good reviews. But I figured we'd kill two birds with one stone and hit a draft in that. So I will I'm going to be the gentleman here. I'll give you the number 1 overall pick.
Oh, wow.
I'll let you start this off. Yeah, I will.
Okay. Number 1 overall pick that people wouldn't see coming, I don't think.
Oh, wow. Surprise. Number 1?
Yeah. This guy really popped during March Madness. So his stock rose.
What do you got?
Stonks only go up. I got Sloppy Joe's.
I didn't even have that on my draft board, but that's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I haven't had a good Sloppy Joe in a while. It's basically just like meat sauce sandwich, right?
Yeah, it's ketchup. It's a little bit of barbecue sauce. Like I've made it like from scratch before.
Oh, I didn't know that at all. I want to
say that there's mustard. It's good.
That sounds terrible. I'll give you that one all day. Number one. So you got that number one pick. I'm gonna go. I don't know how specific we want to get here. I'll just take burgers off the board in general, but I'm gonna go specifically bacon cheeseburger. Number one pick off the board.
As in Wendy's specifically?
No, actually not. I don't like Wendy's bacon cheeseburgers. A good one on the grill, cheese, nice thick bacon, maybe some barbecue sauce. I'm taking that number one overall. If I were to basically the way we're doing this is someone gives you like a pound of hamburger, right?
Yeah.
And you have to draft how to use it, what you want to do. So
yeah.
So far, I think we're off to a good start. We got Sloppy Joe versus a nice. I can't emphasize this enough. Hearty bacon bacon double cheeseburger. I'll make it work with a pound of hamburger.
Okay. Yeah, that's a lot of meat.
Yeah.
That's a lot of meat. I did have a note here, by the way. I said Sloppy Joe's for the first one, not to be confused with Sleepy Joe.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So if anyone's thinking the political route, no.
That's on our Patreon, not free. Yeah. Sorry. We talk politics about 35% of the time, all on our Patreon.
Pick number 2 for me. Shepherd's pie.
Oh, great pick. I had that number 2. I was going to snag it.
I wanted to see if we could not overlap for 10. Be impressive if we didn't, but shepherd's pie is great.
Shepherd's pie made good is great. Simple, potatoes, corn, and hamburger. But I've never made it myself. My wife has. You must have to do it a certain way. Like if you get a nice crispy top coating.
Yeah.
Big time. Big fan. And then some spices, obviously, but big shepherd's pie guy.
The only thing I don't like, though, is sometimes if you get it at a restaurant, some places will throw those little like small onions in there. The ball onions.
No. Not
terrible.
I've never gotten it out at a restaurant. I'm just homemade. It's simple.
Simple.
Can't mess it
up. You usually have it with gravy inside, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one more thing, but those are the big 3, obviously: potatoes, hamburger, and corn. Right.
What's the other? Oh, sometimes peas. I think. Or no.
Okay. Maybe. I don't know. I'm just talking the basics here. Stick to the basics. Good pick. I'm going to take this one off the board too. I'm just going to go tacos. Nice hamburger tacos. A little seasoning. Are you soft or hard?
Right now?
Taco shells.
Ooh. Oh, I'm soft.
Yeah, big time. Not even close.
Yeah.
I think hard shell tacos are for kids.
Team flasks.
Once you get like high school, just stop eating hard taco shells. They're a mess. It's just chips. You're eating chips and hamburger, which again, fine. I thought another one I might save, but I'm gonna take tacos off the board.
I also think once you get to
similar to what the Celtics did in the NBA draft, I'm taking taco off the board.
Yes, taco. The fall of tacos.
Actually, somehow he didn't get drafted, right? Believe it or not. I think he was drafted, right? Yeah.
No.
So I'll be the first in the Boston area to take taco off the board.
The other thing about growing up and like eating adult tacos is like eating a real taco, not to be a taco hippie, but like
okay. I know exactly what you mean.
Yeah. Because those soft shell tacos that are like those corn shells are so good.
Very good. Very good. When I was a kid eating tacos, I would literally eat like meat and a taco shell, maybe like cheese or like veggies. But now if you go to a nice restaurant, get legit like street tacos.
Yeah.
Big time. All right. Round 3. Go
ahead. 3 and 4 are going to be kind of similar for me. So, and I have a question about this. So I wrote hamburger helper.
Mm-hmm.
And the question will come in the 4th one, but hamburger helper. And I was specifically picturing the Salisbury steak hamburger helper, because I think that's the quintessential.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I'm not a hamburger helper guy at all.
Never helped hamburger.
Never helped. I don't need the help. No, that guy just looks like more of a burden than a help.
He's a friendly like glove.
Right? Nah, I'm not a fan.
Okay,
it's one glove in my life. His name's Gary Payton. Nah, I'm gonna go. What do I want to do here? Because I got some sleepers. I bet I can sleep on this guy till the 5th round. This is pick 3. What do I do with this? You know what? If I just have to take it as it is, give me a good meat sauce. Nice pasta meat sauce, like a bolognese or something.
Son of a bitch.
So I can use that however I want. And that's honestly what I thought sloppy. I legit thought sloppy joes were just meat sauce in a bun. Seriously,
fucking barbaric, but it does look like that.
Actually, doesn't sound that terrible either.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Final answer. I'm gonna go meat sauce. You can put it over pasta. You can put it over, mostly pasta. But yeah, give me a good meat sauce.
Okay, so that was my number 4. So then I can just jump straight to the question.
All right.
How do you feel about cold pasta, leftover cold pasta?
Well, ironically enough, I'll eat it, but not really with it if it's like ham, like if there's meat involved, like actual meatballs or sausage. Like I've eaten like penny, like out of the fridge. It's not bad, not as good, but I would eat it. Why, do you prefer that or something?
I don't prefer it, but I do think it's pretty good. And the reason I bring it up, I brought it up in the chat with Tyler's people, because have you ever had cold SpaghettiOs?
No, I haven't had SpaghettiOs in a while, actually.
Or any, do you remember as a kid ever having cold canned pasta?
I would, no.
Okay.
Like out of the can?
Did it, and it's
or in the fridge?
Kind of good.
Do you mean like out of the can, or it's in the fridge and then?
Out of the can, and I didn't warm it up. I just threw it.
That's not cold. That's like room temperature.
Yeah.
Which I assume wouldn't be good either. I didn't really like those too much when I was younger, like Chef Boyardee or SpaghettiOs and stuff.
Probably for the best.
Probably. And I feel like if I didn't love them then, I would probably hate them now. Like they would taste like shit. I'll wait till Carter's old enough to eat that stuff and I'll give it a try. Okay, cool.
So that was my number 4.
So, what one? SpaghettiOs?
Just pasta sauce, like yours.
It's a draft. I took it off the board. You can't choose it.
Oh, okay.
Point, idiot. Otherwise, I would have taken shepherd's pie. Okay,
in that case,
actually, Mr. Silver, I also like Anthony Edwards. I'll take it too. That's not how this works.
Okay, I had pizza topping. I haven't had it.
That's a good one. That's a good one. I like hamburger pizza or like pizza.
I've only had it, but only on Supreme Pizza. I've never had it like just by itself as the topping.
No, that's fine. You can do whatever you want with it. That's a good one. Pizza is a good one. I do like hamburger pizza. Oh, dude, if you want to, like, for our local audience, have you ever had Bob's Pizza in Nashua?
Recently, for the first time.
Very good. And they have one of the better hamburger pizzas I've ever had in my life.
Ooh.
It's very like thin. Their pizza's like pretty thin, big slices. But their hamburger pizza is really good.
They also have pretty good vegan pizza, if for some reason anyone listening is interested.
What does that consist of?
Vegan cheese. So it's just not really, it's not made from cows.
Any good?
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm gonna have to try a hamburger pizza though.
It's so good, dude. I don't know if it's like
that's the only topping you get.
Like if I order a hamburger pizza, yeah, but all their pizza is pretty good. I'm big fan. My family's a big fan of Bob's Pizza. So that was 4. Now we're on 5, right? Or is this my 4? We're gonna post these and let you guys vote on who has the better team. I took cheeseburger, tacos, and meat sauce. So now this is my 4.
Yeah,
somewhat similar, but I hope it is still okay. I'm gonna go meatball subs. Ooh. I really enjoy a nice meatball sub. Toasted bread, even on garlic bread, is outstanding. Very few places will do it unless you do it yourself. Nice thick marinara sauce, some Parmesan cheese. I'm gonna take meatball subs off the board real quick. Snag those up, get them in a training camp, get them signed, and get them working.
Yeah, get them studying the playbook.
ASAP. Like they should, honestly, like they should be studying the playbook before draft day, but that's a different conversation. Let's wrap this up. Round 5. Take us home.
This is tough because I had 5 and you took one of them. So I'm going to think of one really quickly off the top of my head. Why don't you go with your 5th one?
All right. This is kind of my sleeper. But I highly recommend it. It's very good. It's popular in my family. It's basically macaroni and cheese with hamburger mixed into it. It's very good. We used to call it camping stew in my house because we made it at camp. It's incredible if no one's ever tried it. It's specifically, I've always liked it best with shells, but I guess the pasta really doesn't matter. But I'm going to take that in the late round, sign him to a minimum contract, macaroni and cheese with ground beef in it. Very good.
Okay.
10 out of 10. Might make some tonight.
That's pretty good. Mine is definitely going to be a sleeper pick because I don't think a lot of people would know this. This is a very niche product. Cambodian egg rolls typically have hamburger in them.
Couldn't even imagine what that is.
For my fellow Cambodians.
Was that your nickname back in high school? The Cambodian egg roll. That'd be a great Twitter handle or Instagram handle.
It's probably taken, but I'll take a look.
Point.
Yeah, that's definitely a sleeper, and that's definitely delicious.
What's in it? Like traditional egg roll with just hamburger?
So it's hamburger, shredded, like really thinly shredded carrot, and these like noodles, but it's fried. So it's delicious.
Okay, cool. That does sound pretty good. So
wait. Empanadas also. Sorry. That's a unsigned free agent.
All right, first man off the bench, you got empanadas.
Yeah.
Okay. I think
or meat pies, that's another name for him.
I'm surprised neither of us said meatloaf. I was waiting for you to say it because I hate meatloaf. And I thought that was going to spark some conversation.
I hate meatloaf too. It's a loaf of meat. That sounds
I'm good.
Savage.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I'll eat it. I've eaten it, but I certainly want to go out of my way to proactively draft it onto my team. Leahy's going to hate this. I hadn't even tried it
until recently.
But yeah, we both dislike meatloaf, it sounds like.
Yeah.
That could have been a hot debate. Try to think what else is out there. I'm sure we left some big ones off the board. I mean, I'll eat like a container of just hamburger. Like I like it. I think it's good.
Yeah, I could do that.
What are you going to do? Cool. So that's that. So I'll organize those later. We'll post them online, vote for whose team is better. And we'll go from there. There was another segment we wanted to do. We went a little longer than I thought. I do have to hop off. So I think we should save that one for later this week. Because it's a good one. Because anyone else, we could maybe get a friend to jump on and talk about it with us. But we'll just leave it at that. So again, if you're watching this, listening to this now, make sure you like and subscribe. If you're watching on Facebook, feel free to hit the share button. Mm-hmm. Maybe you can get it in front of some other people who might like it as well. And I guess we'll see you guys next time. Peace.